Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. It is Monday, December 18th for the City of Kingsburg regular meeting for the Finance Committee. We will start with item 2, public comments. If there's anyone here from the public that would like to address the committee? No? Okay, item 3, approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, general plan update and recommendation. Presentation by Community Development Director Holly Owen.
Thank you. Chairman Purcell, Finance Committee members. Kingsburg's general plan was last updated in 1993, and although it still reflects many of the current community values, it is well beyond the recommended 10-year lifespan for a general plan, and it also lacks certain current state-required elements or sections. So in late last year, a request for proposals to update the general plan was released. At that time, we received 2 responses, one from Precision Engineering and one from PlaceWorks. Both proposals are attached for your reference in case you need to refer to them. We came on April 24th of this year to look and evaluate those proposals, and at the time, the committee requested that I initiate further discussions with the respondents. That we had a couple of proposals that one was in the $400,000 range for Precision Engineering, and at the time, PlaceWorks had $688,000. So over the last, since then, let's just say, there was a lot of conversation between those parties and the city, and we also had some conversations at the planning conference in October. And now at this time, the original PlaceWorks proposal has been reworked, and Provo and Pritchard, which is a Central Valley Engineering and planning firm, has assumed the majority of proposed staffing roles. The tasks currently identified as part of the general plan update that they have submitted include the following: addition of the newer required elements of the general plan, including updated air quality, safety, and a new element that deals with environmental justice. This is required at the state level for every general plan. There is a facilitation and participation in pop-up events as well as social media outreach and online surveys. There'll be a mapping component that will be web-based and interactive. And they are proposing 4 public workshops, including 3 joint planning commission and council meetings, and then 1 individual meeting to recommend and adopt the proposed update. So attached for your consideration is Provo and Pritchard's revised proposal. The estimated cost for the project is $260,000. Savings from the original proposals are gained by a focused approach to updating those existing elements and adding what is necessary to make sure that we're compliant. In addition, there's a streamlined environmental review that will be taken that would meet the legal requirements while using the existing general plan EIR as a foundation. Tonight we have also Sarah Allender from Provo and Pritchard. She will be the lead consultant should we choose to go forward with this proposal, and she's here she's attending this meeting to address any comments or questions that you might have. We've reviewed this proposal and are requesting a committee discussion followed by a recommendation for approval to council or direction regarding next steps. This concludes my staff report, and I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, we'll bring it to committee for discussion.
What was the original budgeted amount for the?
$400,000.
Okay.
That was ARPA funds that were earmarked for that several years back.
And Is it safe to assume that Precision Engineering did not want to update their estimate?
We did have some conversations about, their staffing, that they were offering, and, they did not choose at this point to update their proposal.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so my understanding of the general plan, there's lots of different elements. Now, a good portion of those we're just going to not update, because they're satisfactory from when they were originally done.
Well, I think Sarah could probably address some of that. I think they will all be reviewed, to make sure that that what was initially in the general plan is still relevant. There'll be some updates, certainly there'll be some brand new elements, and there'll be some updates to some of the current elements, as needed. I think we'll find that, as we start analyzing it and doing an audit, that whatever's needed at this point, to bring it up to current standards, will be done. And that will involve some data analysis, certainly, so.
Yeah, and part of the approach includes some community outreach, just to confirm that the vision you already have, the land uses you already have are still relevant for the community, so there will be that component to provide them the opportunity to weigh in and provide that confirmation, so that's part of the targeted approach.
What does that look like?
Well, what we have proposed is we do have the 3 joint study sessions, because we wanted to integrate the decision makers into those workshops, but those are really opportunities for the public to come learn about the project, provide input to the project. And then we do have 3 events that have been scoped, so we could show up at community events, whether there's farmer markets, holiday events, and actually also get the word out and do some surveys online in addition to the study sessions. So that's what has been scoped. It's a little bit of a moving target sometimes. The one thing I like to say about public outreach is you have the best plan in the world and you know it's going to change over the life of the project, but that's where we like to be responsive. But that's what's been assumed at this point.
Last question. You've given us an estimate or a guarantee on this, the 2?
That is the proposal cost.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Are you comfortable that, I mean, given that that it's going to be audited, but we are relying on, a lot of the analysis to not be updated, how comfortable are you that the 260 is solid?
The biggest assumption that we made is that we aren't going to touch land uses, and it sounds like that is a relatively good assumption based on conversations. You've also just gone through or going through a housing element process.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as the land uses don't change, then we can do streamlined environmental approach, and then it really just does become an issue of auditing the existing policies, having that feedback loop with the community to confirm that they still agree that the vision and the land uses and most of the policies are still relevant to what they would like for them to be. And then we have also scoped in some of the additional analysis required for the state law requirements. Yeah.
Some cities do a general plan update, and then they have the intentions of expanding their sphere of influence, sometimes in a big way. And we have been discouraged from doing that, I should say.
Conservative approach?
Yeah.
No, I've had the opportunity to sit down and talk about everything as well. I just want to say a good job to Holly, though, for continually trying to find a solution for a general plan and the difference between what was originally proposed and the creative solution. It took a lot of work on the back end for you, so I just wanted to
Thank you.
thank you for
Well,
all the time you put into that. I know,
I will
I know
say-
you pondered things a lot.
I
so.
did, and I wanted to make sure that especially the two parties were communicated with, and that we had an understanding, and this came about really with a conversation from the CEQA consultant, and that sort of triggered a different look at what, some of that heavier lift that was involved in the beginning, submittal, so. It's a different approach to CEQA, among other things.
Collado?
I don't have any comments.
Okay, so I just wanna, these are big number changes, so I just wanna make sure that I'm kinda wrapping my head around, because I'm ignorant to this process, so just bear with me. Placeworks came in at $688,000. Provost and Pritchard's is coming in at $428,000 less. Is that gonna include what we need, or are we leaving things on the table? Because that's just such a big difference that it raises a red flag for me. No offense to you, it's just that when those numbers, and I don't know, is that because of the land use changes? Why is there such a huge difference?
I would have to say, if I had identified, I would say that the staffing has been, streamlined.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that, there were a number of Placeworks, staff that were in the original proposals that are not now in this current proposal.
Is that gonna roll down into our staff making a heavier lift in this?
I don't believe so. I have the confidence that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, and the
So,
biggest ticket item, with the focused approach is not having to do an environmental impact report. That alone, I forget what Placeworks' original proposal cost was, but I think it was around $300,000, because you are hiring traffic consultants, typically air quality. There's a lot of technical studies that go into that. With the focused approach and not changing the land uses, we will not have to do any of that analysis. That's the biggest cost savings.
And it is
with that approach.
pretty well known that's the heavy lift for a general plan update is a new EIR.
Yeah, and I believe their original proposal also included some community design aspects, which is not moving forward as part of this approach. So there are some other policy items that are being.
I will say too that, in terms of our strategic, plan that we got together with and we talked about as a community, I was reassured that really some of the values that we have, had in the past are continuing, and that makes me, gives me a comfort level. When I look back at the general plan, even though it was 30 years old, it's really is a pretty remarkable document in terms of reflecting what Kingsburg's values were at the time, and they've changed very little over time. It's really, it's really reassuring in a way. So I feel like this is, a continuation of that and a support of what is currently identified as our strategic plan and our goals, and will be, this will continue down that path, so.
You're comfortable with it?
Yes, I am comfortable with it.
I appreciate the extra work. I know we could have very easily been $688,000 into this if you wouldn't have done the extra work, so
Thank you.
I appreciate the $428,000 that you saved in this project. I mean, that really is a big deal.
It is
From
a
a
big deal.
department head, I'm especially thankful for that.
Thank you.
I like to yell about money stuff, and
Now see?
now I'm just
Yelling
eating
and
words.
things happen, right?
No, that wasn't me, that was all you. Okay, is there any more, committee discussion on this? If not, I will entertain a motion to move forward with Provost Pritchard.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, thank you.
All right, I will look forward to seeing more of you.
Yes, thank you.
You
Thank
will.
you, Sarah. Appreciate your time.
Item 5, do we have any other business? Do you have anything? No? Okay. Well, that's great. At 5:15, we'll adjourn the meeting.
Wow.
Thank you.